So let's try a sip. It's good. It's bitter and good finish, flavorful, crisp. Also crisp. Now, the last time that I did Weihenstephaner, it tasted like water next to Hofbrau, but it doesn't taste like water next to Czechvar. That's a good all-around beer with a good balance. It's just good. It tastes like high-quality beer. It's got some, like I said, it's got some bitterness. It's got some maltiness to it, and everything is pretty balanced. And that's smoother. Just a tad bit weaker, but even more balanced, I think, without the bitterness that this one has. Less bitterness, but a bit more stronger on the finish. It's good. It didn't taste like this when it was up against Hofbrau. Or I should say Hofbräu for the German pronunciation. Now the Weihenstephaner, compared to Hofbräu, tastes watery next to it. But here it doesn't have that watery flavor. Czechvar and Hofbrau, again, they went up against each other at least 2 times, and one time Hofbräu won, and one time Czechvar won. So it was kind of a toss-up. But these are both quite good beers. Very rich and flavorful. And this is what I was talking about in the video where it went up against Hofbräu. It didn't have this flavor. It tasted weak and watery. And maybe that's just because it was up against Hofbräu, which was a stronger beer. And Hofbräu is also stronger than this one. At least in the last matchup I did between the two. Good too, but more bitter. It's basically very similar, but more bitter. A bit stronger. Good. And what I think is going to happen is when these beers get down to about this much and they start going flat, the slightly stronger flavor of this one is going to start making it preferable. Because, you know, when beer starts going flat and gets warm for sitting in a glass out in room temperature, you know, starts tasting watery and weak. And this one is going to maintain its flavor a bit more than this one. So there's going to be a more watery taste in this one compared to this one. But that is a very, very smooth drinking beer. And now, it's getting to that point already where, it's starting to lose its crispness. And the flavor of this one is starting to be preferable to this one. You know, this isn't part of a contest, or part of a bracket or anything. These are both good beers. But as of now, I'm kind of leaning towards this one as to which one I would rather drink more of. This one is a higher rated beer on the sites than this one. Budweiser, or the Czech Budweiser, Czechvar, is a goddamn good beer. No matter who it goes up against, if it wins or if it loses, it's still going to be a good beer. It's going to be a beer that you can drink another one of. It's a 5 or 5.1, and the same thing with this one, 5 or 5.1 ABV. But if you want a beer that is just a little bit smoother, a little bit more easy to drink, you probably want to choose this one. But if you want some taste to it, you want a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of hoppiness, you get this. Because this is a Pilsner, and the Pilsners are made with a bit more aggressive hops. Whether they use different type of hops or more hops or whatever, how Pilsners are made, I'm not sure. But the hops are what give the beer a bitterness. And with IPAs, they tend to give them bitterness, but they also tend to give them some citrusy flavor. And some IPAs are very citrusy. And some people don't like that. If you like citrusy IPAs, or you like hoppy beers, hoppy IPAs, you're probably going to like this one more than this one. But this one, it's kind of like you're drinking a light beer compared to this one. I like this one better. Which is interesting. How that 32 bracket would have turned out if different beers were up against, if there was a different pairing of beers in the contest, who knows how it would have turned out. But this one did very well, and so did this one. And surprisingly, this one, it lost in maybe the second round of the first bracket by some shitty beer, and I was surprised. I really was. And it got put down into the silver bracket, where it advanced a few rounds and then eventually lost again. I can't remember who it lost to. And of course, then it went down into the bronze bracket, where the two-time losers. And it went up against Hofbrau twice. And I think maybe the first time it went up against Hofbrau, it won, and the second time it went up against Hofbrau, it lost. Because, as I mentioned before, these taste tests are subjective. And how I'm feeling at the time, or my mood at the time, kind of has something to do with it. In some cases, I might feel like drinking a smooth beer, or in some cases, I might feel like drinking a stronger, more bittery beer. And that's the way it turned out in that bracket. That's why Hofbrau won once and Czechvar won once. So, but still, I think there is a significant difference between these two. Not as big of a difference as Hofbrau, or Hofbräu. Hofbräu, if I want to really try to do my German pronunciations correctly, Hofbräu. There was a big difference between that and this, and a little bit lesser difference between this and that. And Hofbräu was even stronger than this. But this is good. So if you want something that I think this is good all around. A good balance, between a smooth beer and a very strong beer, like Hofbräu. Then this is, I can never say anything bad about Czechvar. It's a good beer. And likewise, it's hard to say anything bad about this unless you put it up against side by side with something else, like Hofbräu. When I did it side by side with Hofbräu, it was watery and flat tasting. And that's why Hofbräu got the win. But it's good. I like it. I like it here. And I like this one too. All right. Now, I think that Czechvar is better than Weihenstephaner. That's my opinion on this particular matchup and this particular day at this particular time. Let's see how they taste mixed together. That's pretty good. It still has some hoppiness to it, and it's still got smoothness. It's essentially taking this and watering it down a little bit, just a tad bit, but it's good. And I don't think that the mixture between the two is as good as this by itself. This is a good fucking beer. And, well, so is this. But I think this is a better beer. All right. Thank you.